To convince the public that he is right, Omid Scobie wrote in his iNews column that the blame for the leak of the royal names lies entirely with the Dutch publisher. According to the endgame author, the publisher was sent a draft version of the book, containing the names of the racists, with the warning that they would later receive a finished and final version, which should eventually be printed. This begs the question, why send first the draft for translation and then the edited version? So that the translators would translate it twice and end up with confusion? So, in the end, Omid held the Dutch publisher responsible for the error. But they didn't keep quiet. In response, Xander Wittgevers, a spokesman for the publisher, refuted Scobie's words, calling them factually incorrect. However, he refused to go into details, as there is a work ethic. Omid Scobie's explanation in his column in iNews about the Dutch editorial process of the Dutch edition of Finale is factually incorrect, and we do not recognize ourselves in his portrayal of events, the publisher reported. Xander Wittgevers is not authorized to say anything about the content, so we are contacting UTA's agent. And how can you not think of a conspiracy theory? The Dutch are sent a draft first, claiming that it is not the final version, contains inaccuracies and will be corrected later, but please start translating it. Then we will send you another version of the book, already finished and edited, so translate that too. I am not good at these things, but someone tell me, why translate both the draft and the finished manuscript? So that the author can leak the names he wants and then blame it on a translation error? Anyway, one thing has been revealed to the world: Omid Scobie lied when he claimed that he did not include the names of racists in his book. It turns out that he did, but then he got scared and removed them from the book. The expected effect didn't happen. The royal family is fine. Yesterday, the Princess of Wales held a glittering Christmas concert at Westminster Abbey and the King visited the craft fair, and no one was pointing fingers at them or yelling that they were racist. Moreover, insiders in Charles's entourage claim that the monarch is not the least bit concerned about his name appearing in a racist scandal. Apparently he has already calmed down. For a few days ago it was claimed that the king and his heir were calling an emergency meeting on the matter and considering legal action. Now a source has said that Charles has no intention of giving in to emotional blackmail from his youngest son. Prince Harry is now in the midst of a court battle with the Home Office over his right to state protection, the same as working members of the royal family. On behalf of the Sussex man, a speech was read out in court where he said he was forced to leave the UK 4 years ago because of the danger to his wife and child. The couple only had Archie at the time. Again, allegedly because of racial threats against them and the royal family's unwillingness to protect them. But in his statement, Harry called the UK his home and regretted his inability to visit his homeland and see his relatives, the very ones they are not in touch with. Back in his book, Omid Scobie revealed that Harry was saddened by the loss of Frogmore Cottage and tearfully told his father, "You're putting us out on the street. What about your grandchildren? Don't you want to see them?" In response, the courtiers said that the Duke of Sussex uses his own children to put pressure on his father, but Charles is not impressed by such manipulation. The king has stated that he will not be emotionally blackmailed by his own son. He doesn't care about the book and remains full of energy, the source said. And at the same time, royal experts and courtiers called on the Sussexes to speak out about Omid Scobie's book, in the Dutch version of which the names of the King and Princess of Wales surfaced as the main royal racists. No condemnation of their Montecito mouthpiece was voiced, just a denial of the rumored collaboration with Scobie, and that was the end of it. But a week later, as the racial scandal gained momentum and threatened to cause trouble primarily for the Sussexes themselves, Montecito stirred again. A source in Meghan and Harry's inner circle said the Duchess never wanted the names of those who upset her with comments about her son's skin color to be made public. Back during the Oprah interview, she said she would never name them because it would hurt them. But now, that despite the scandal, the Montecito couple has seen that the royal family is fine and they are supported by the majority of their subjects. Moreover, after the publicity, it seems that the harm has been done to the Sussexes themselves and they cannot recover from the reputational damage, not only in Britain but also in the US. Meghan then decided to respond to the incident and said that the leaked names were extremely distressing for her and Harry and that they found the incident incredibly regrettable. And the fact that most believe the couple were involved in the writing of Omid Scobie's book is very upsetting to the Sussexes. The Dukes have once again vowed, via an insider, that they did not pass on their journalist pal's correspondence with Charles, and that they would never, ever go to the trouble of revealing the names of those who were concerned about how dark their child's skin might be. In other words, they tried to wash their hands of it and shield themselves from blame. The only question is, How did Omid even know about Meghan's correspondence with Charles, much less how did he have an excerpt from one of the parties' emails? Did Scobie get a cloak of invisibility and sneak into the king's study like Harry Potter? From the Sussex side it looks like this: we did not want the whole world to know that Charles and Kate are racists, but since this information, through no fault of ours, became public, what can we do? We are not to blame and we are very sad. I wonder if there will be those who will believe them? Leave a comment.